Hello and welcome to the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Darshan Mehta. Good morning, Agam.
Good morning, Darshan. I'm Agam Vakil. First, the headlines. Indian markets edge up. Nifty reclaims the 11,500 mark. India VIX declines. An open interest surges in Bharti Infratel and Z Entertainment as traders take fresh positions in their respective stock futures. Nifty Realty jumps in trade after Supreme Court allows construction to resume in Maharashtra and Uttarakhand asks two other states and Chandigarh to submit proposals. India's Defence and External Affairs ministers will begin talks with their US counterparts as a part of the 2+2 talks today. And the Supreme Court is set to deliver the judgment on the legality of Section 377 today.
Okay, let's take a look at where positions are being taken. The markets have started to move up in today's trade. Surprisingly, they were in the red when they started, but nevertheless, there is very strong support that the market is taking at the 11,500 mark in trade. The Nifty is up 33 points. Let's take a look at what's happening with the Bank Nifty and see where the traction is in. But first, let's see where positions are being taken. In today's trade, what we're seeing is the fact that, some of the put writers have become aggressive at the 11,400 and 11,500. You can see the two big red lines that are there. Even at 11,600, some bit of put writing is happening, which gives an indication that they expect that after the big correction we've had from 11,700 levels, there could be support coming in at this level and the market could go up. But nevertheless, call writers are still aggressive at levels of 11,500, 600. That's what they are writing. And at higher levels, positions are taken. So at least in the near term, positions will be concentrated between the 11,500 and 11,600 mark in trade. If you're looking at the total open interest, and you can clearly see what is happening, if call writers are active from levels of 11,600 to higher levels, and put writers are active from levels of 11,500 to lower levels. So at this point of time, it seems that 11,500 to 11,000 seems to be the broad range that the market is showing. But stock specific, I think Agam will be better equipped to tell us.
Right. So Darshan, we are seeing a substantial cut in something like Z Entertainment that's down by as much as 7.5% at this point in time. Well, some downgrades coming there, and we're looking at quite a nash out there. It's this 15% increase in open interest and a substantial amount of shorts being built up when it comes to Z Entertainment. Bharti Infratel is the other one, which was weak, substantially weak yesterday. In fact, it was a top Nifty loser yesterday, and it's continuing to slide further downwards. So shorts building up there as well. Sun TV is the other counter from the media space. Once again, looking at shorts coming through, 11% added in open interest there towards shorts. But on the gaining end, Granules India advancing. And, well, it's the same for Balrampur Chini, as a matter of fact. Both of them are also seeing accumulation in open interest when it comes to, well, your big movers and Granules India and Balrampur Chini standing out in trade, and perhaps I would say bucking the trend. Let's take a look at some which are looking at, well, perhaps some unwinding. Well, you can't count Adani Enterprises because that's actually looking at corporate action. But Equitas Holding, MRF, South Indian Bank, and NBCC, not too much to speak for. Well, on the whole, Darshan, I'll be watching out for something like a Z Entertainment and Sun TV in today's day of trade, followed by Bharti Infratel, which sees further weakness.
Okay, so those are the counters that we'll watch out for in trade. But before we get our guest on the show, here's a reminder: if you have any queries regarding futures and option market, you can call us on 022-4540-4141 or write to us on Twitter, Facebook with the AskBQ hashtag. A lot of people have already started writing in, so we look forward to having more queries from you. But let's welcome our F&O experts for the day: Ashish Chaturmohta of Sanctum Wealth and Aditya Agarwal of Way to Wealth Securities join us on the show. Thank you for both of you for joining me. Aditya, let me start with you. Overall, what's your view on the Nifty and any strategy on the Nifty in particular?
Well, if we see overall view, then our overall view is still bearish. We're expecting that Nifty may test 11,300 to 11,250 levels in this series. But if you are looking for 1 to 2 days view, then we're expecting that some pullback may come. Nifty has collected almost 300 points in last 3 trading sessions. So we're expecting a small short covering move. And in that short covering move, we're expecting that Nifty may test 11,600, 11,620 levels. So at current levels, one can buy Nifty with a stop loss of 11,480 with a first target of 11,550 and second target would be 11,600. But it will be difficult for Nifty to sustain at higher levels as most of the large cap stocks have made some bearish patterns. So at any higher levels, we will see some fresh selling pressure. So it's a trading move. For trading, one can buy at current levels with 50 to 60 points upside on Nifty.
Okay, so that's Aditya's call on the Nifty. Aditya, I'll come back to you on the Nifty banking in just a minute. I'm just going to take Ashish's views on the markets in general as well. Ashish, how are you reading these cues at this point in time?
Yep. Good morning, Agam. So yes, we have seen a very sharp cut from 11,800 odd levels to almost 11,400, and there's some pullback rally which we are witnessing. I think after 4 days of fall, I think there can be some recovery towards 11,580, 600 odd levels, but I don't think we are going to see sustainable move beyond 11,600. But at the same time, if you look at the option distribution data, that is clearly indicating that around 11,500 you might see a lot of support coming into the market. So broadly, I think it's going to remain sideways between 11,500 to 600. Once we see a sustainable move on either side, that will give a trend clarity. So I think at this juncture, it's more of sideways market rather than being a very aggressive long or short. So I would skip trading any long or short bet at these levels in index.
Okay. So Aditya, with that, if I can come back to you on your Nifty banking strategy as well.
Well, we have the same view on Bank Nifty also, but Bank Nifty is looking comparatively more weak than Nifty. So we are expecting that Bank Nifty may test 27,000 to 26,800 levels also in this series. But in Bank Nifty also, we are expecting a small short covering move. Bank Nifty may move towards 25,650 to 27,650 to 27,700 levels. So we can see some 100 to 150 points move in Bank Nifty futures from current levels. So we are advising our clients to initiate long positions for 1 to 2 days perspective, that is today and tomorrow. With a stop loss of 27,350, and on higher side 27,650 will be the target. But we are Bank Nifty has already moved by 50-60 points in last 15-20 minutes. So if Bank Nifty comes in the zone of 27,500, then that is a good level to enter into Bank Nifty futures. On higher side, 27,650, 27,700 is a very strong resistance level. We have seen a lot of call lighting in this weekly options. So from those levels, selling pressure will be there. But yes, in next 1 to 2 days, we can see some short covering move. So to take that benefit, one can initiate long positions in Bank Nifty futures also.
Okay. That's the view that's coming in on the Bank Nifty. Let's talk stock specific. Ashish, what are you recommending for today? What are your strategies?
So two stocks which we like at this juncture. One is Eicher Motors, although it is flat today, but if you look at the long-term charts as well as the data, there is a good amount of long build-up which we have observed in 3-4 trading sessions in Eicher Motors. The way it has crossed 29,000 mark, I think it's a good short-term trigger for the stock. So eventually we expect the stock to at least see a 1,000 rupee kind of rally from current levels, but in a shorter term, 29,600, 29,700 is a target one can expect in Eicher Motors. Keep 28,700 as an trading stop loss for initiating a long in the stock. From the FMCG basket, I think Cipla is one stock which is showing a strong trend, and we have seen a good consolidation in last 4-5 trading sessions. But during this consolidation, we have seen open interest getting built up on the long side. So clearly, I think 648, 645 is a strong base for the stock. Keep 648 as a trading stop loss in Cipla. We expect Cipla to cross 680, 685 kind of zone in next couple of trading sessions. So these two stocks from long idea, both from little positional view, but I think a decent 3 to 5% kind of jump from current levels is what we are expecting in these names.
Okay, so those are some ideas from Ashish. But Aditya, how about you? What stocks are you betting on in today's job trade?
Well, I have 2 buy recommendation and 1 sell recommendation. Buy recommendation will be first, it will be in Repco Homes. I mean, if we see Repco Homes stock has seen a one-side correction from 650, 630 odd levels to 520, 530 odd levels. But around those levels, stock has a strong support. Yesterday, we saw some short covering move, and today we are seeing some long position getting built up in Repco Homes. So expecting that this stock can test 560, 565 odd levels. So at current levels, one can buy with a stop loss of 524. A second buy recommendation will be in Bajaj Auto. Means if we see Bajaj Auto, this stock also saw some sharp correction from 3,200 levels to 2,600 levels, and after that stock went into consolidation phase. Now we are seeing some fresh long getting built up in Bajaj Auto also. So in this stock, I am expecting this stock can test 2,880 levels with a stop loss of 2,770. One can buy Bajaj Auto at current levels. Sell recommendation will be in DHFL. DHFL was in a consolidation phase, but in yesterday's trade, stock broke that range on lower side, and today again we are seeing some selling pressure in this counter. So in DHFL, I'm expecting that this stock can test 628 levels. At current levels or at any pullback, one can short sell with a stop loss of 661 and target of 628.
Okay, let's talk about some of the stocks that are buzzing in trade. Ashish, your view on 2 stocks which have corrected almost 10%. High value stocks corrected 10% from the recent highs. Piramal Enterprises and Bajaj Finance.
So Piramal Enterprises, I think it's a buy at current levels. You know, it has seen some profit booking because there was a sharp up move which we witnessed from 2700 to almost 3350. So there was some retracement, and now eventually stock has formed a good base somewhere around 3000 odd levels. So keep that as an trading stop loss. We expect stock to again, retest at least 3250, 3300 kind of zone. So I think it's a buy at current levels. As far as Bajaj Finserv is concerned, I think it will see some more consolidation at these levels. So it's not a buy at current levels, but I'll wait for a clarity. Once the stock sustains beyond 6600, then I think it will give a trigger to initiate a long. But at these levels, I think looks like more sideways at current juncture. So I think PL would be a buy.
I was referring to Bajaj Finance.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Bajaj Finance, I think again, again it's into a consolidation phase. But yes, here also 2780 would be a trigger point, because it is seeing some stability coming around 2700 levels. We have seen a good open interest addition, but in terms of price action, I need a breakout beyond 2780 to initiate a long position.
Okay. Let's pull up Balkrishna Industries, because this stock has taken quite a pounding in the recent few sessions. In fact, it's down for the 6th straight session at this point in time, and it's come from the levels of 1400 over the last 6 sessions to currently trading at around 1151 odd levels. A lot of traders out there will perhaps be of the view that it would be a time to take longs in it, considering it's oversold. On the other hand, a lot of the others would suggest that, well, there's a trend downwards, so why not go ahead and short it further? Let's take an expert opinion here. So, Aditya, how would you approach Balkrishna Industries at this point in time? What are the underlying variables and technicals telling you?
Well, if we see this stock, then yes, in last 4 days, stock has corrected significantly, but still overall structure is looking weak only. So at current levels, I won't recommend anyone to initiate long positions. On the lower side, I'm expecting that this stock can test 1100 to 1080 levels. Means today also we are seeing some short position getting built up. Open interest is already up by 5%, which is on lower side. So any pullback in this counter can be used to initiate short positions with a stop loss of 1195. On lower side, 1110, 1080 will be the targets which I'm expecting next couple of trading sessions.
Okay, Ashish, Muthoot Finance came out with numbers and the counter managed to react yesterday. Today also, I believe that the momentum is continuing on the counter. Let's pull up the counter of Muthoot Finance. It's up another 3.5%. What's your view? Will the momentum continue?
Quite positive. In fact, if you look at yesterday's trading session, it moved up with a very strong volume. There is a follow-up buying and a good OI addition of almost 5%, and the price action is clearly indicating stock is getting a lot of support. So I think, positionally, we believe stock has a potential to cross 480 kind of levels, which was the high which was made in January 2018. So I think it's a major breakout which has happened on a daily, weekly chart frame. On downside, now I believe 435, 436 is a strong support zone. So keep that as a positional stop loss. One can initiate a long at current levels, and if any dip comes towards 440 odd levels, that would be an opportunity to average your long positions. 480, 485 is a shorter term target one can expect in Muthoot Finance.
Right. Well, we're starting to get queries thick and fast, so I'm going to quickly go across and start addressing each of these, and as many as we can. Let's take up Adani Enterprises, because we actually have 2 queries on this one. The first one is on YouTube. It's from Ankur Sashan. Any call or strategy for Adani Enterprises? That's his question. And, there's this aspect of Adani Gas also getting listed. So, of course, that is a more fundamental question. We'll keep that aside at this point in time. And on Twitter, we also have Nayan Patel, where, well, his question is, when will Adani Enterprises be active? So, Ashish, I'm actually going to throw this question to you. There are a lot of fundamental and technical aspects involved in this case. What would your approach be to Adani Enterprises right now?
So I think, it's more of a corporate, action, but I believe the way, stock has recovered from the day's low of, 140 odd levels, at least in a shorter term, this 140 will act as an important support. But at the same time, I don't expect the stock to see a very strong uptrend. So I think it's going to remain sideways till the time, this Adani Gas thing doesn't play out. So broadly, I think 140, 155, that should be the ideal range for Adani Enterprises.
Yes, okay. I just wanted to add one point. So today, Adani Enterprises goes close ex Adani Gas. That is why this big downtick. So basically, this number that you're seeing, 147.50, clearly means that the street is valuing Adani Gas at close to 60-65 rupees, anywhere between that range. We were working with a figure of 50 rupees when Somit did the link yesterday. So I think Adani Gas. So whoever buys Adani now will not get Adani Gas. You had to buy it yesterday. This is ex Adani Gas. The sole this company is only in the coal trading company is what you'll get if you're playing Adani Enterprises. That is what I just wanted to put across.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the next one. And we have on Twitter, Param Chandok, and his question is on escorts. At these levels, how would you deal with escorts? So I'm gonna, if we can have our escorts, and in terms of the derivatives markets, it's actually flat today. It's at around 793. That's its underlying. September futures not doing too much. Open interest looking at a rise around no more than 2%. Aditya, your view on escorts? What would you advise the viewer?
Right.
Well, if we see overall view for escorts, then the short-term view is bearish. Stock has already given a breakdown below 820, 825 levels, and we have seen in last 3-4 days a lot of short positions getting built up. But yes, in today's session, we are expecting some short covering in this counter, and that short covering stock can test 810 to 815. So for very immediately, one can buy for 1-2 days purpose with a target of 810, 815 levels with a stop loss of 785. But overall view is negative only if it comes in the zone of 810, 815. So someone, I will advise to book profit in long position and again go short in this counter.
Okay, so that's the view. Let's get in some other queries. There is a query by Kishore. Can you help with the target and stop loss for Infosys? Sorry, Aditya, can you help Kishore with his query on Infosys? Aditya, that was for you. Someone wants a view on Infosys.
Well, Infosys is looking bullish only. Means if we see this counter stock is in uptrend and we are seeing long position getting built up. On higher side, this stock can test 755, 760 levels. So any dip in this counter can be used to initiate long positions. On lower side, 720, 710 will act as a very strong support zone. So at current levels also, if someone wants to initiate long positions, one can initiate long with a target of 755, 760. On lower side, 720 will be the stop loss in Infosys.
Okay, I'll just take it, then you can take it. Darshan Ram Rakhiani wants a view on Bharat Electronics. The counter has corrected more than 15% in the last 2 trading session. Ashish, he wants a view on Bharat Electronics short straddle.
So basically, if you look at, stock is trading near its 3 years of low. Today, again, a build-up of 6.5% and close to the important support zone. So, at these levels, whether the stock will break this 90, 89 zone, which is a strong support zone for many years, it looks difficult, but definitely the structure is weak. There can be a pullback towards 93, 94 kind of zone. So, yes, ideally a good candidate for a short straddle kind of thing, because I think it's going to remain sideways between 88 to 95 kind of zone.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's take on the next one. And on YouTube, we have Saptarshi Mitra. And he wants to get an idea on what to do with Nalco. He has the Nalco 75 call. And he's paid a premium around 4.25. Nalco, if I remember correctly, has been doing well over the previous couple of sessions. It certainly has climbed yesterday. It's advanced. His question is, should I hold or exit? So he is looking at a little bit of a loss, considering Nalco is still at around 71. That's where its underlying is. It's at around 2.35 currently. Aditya, can I take this up with you? What would you do with Nalco right now? And what would you advise the viewer to do, considering he's sitting at a little bit of a loss?
Well, I would advise to exit from the call option as stock is looking weak. In today's session, we see yesterday's stock was outperforming in whole metal pack, but again today selling pressure is there since beginning, and it has already added almost 8.5-9% shares in open interest. As I'm expecting this stock can test 67, 68 levels, so view is looking weak only. So it's better to cut your long position in call option and exit the counter.
Okay, I think just a fundamental view on Nalco. Norsk Hydro has started its Brazilian operations, and that is why which was shut, and that's why aluminium prices moved up from 430 to almost 650. Now with the operations that will start in the next few months, aluminium prices probably will come in, and that's affecting Nalco, and that's why it's down 6%. So it's more of a fundamental reason why Nalco is down in today's trade. But let's move on to more queries. Wilfred Monterio wants a view on Ambuja Cements. Ashish, you can take this. It was moving up in the morning trade. That's what I saw. Let's see what Ambuja is doing now. What would you recommend? It's up 1.5%.
So again, flat. It has seen some profit booking from higher levels, but again, I think getting closer to the important support zone of 225. So I think if it's on the long side, 225 should be kept as an trading stop loss. These are future levels, and if these 225 levels are not broken, we expect the stock to again see some pullback towards 235, 236 zone.
Okay, well, with that, we'll move on to the next one. And on YouTube, we have Nikhil Raja. He has two queries, but I'm going to take the first one on JSW Steel, which is the 420 call. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that 420 call is going at around, well, the spread is around 7.55, 7.66. Of course, that perhaps will need to be changed, the premium that has been paid, because that's actually a decimal after the 7. But he's actually short on the JSW 420 call at around 7.75. It's currently at around 7.45. Ashish, how would you deal with JSW Steel? The stock has been very active over the previous few days. What would you advise the viewer to do?
So stock trading at an all-time high, again showing signs of strength, and with metal prices, pellet prices moving up, there's a lot of buying interest in the entire metal names. So I think JSW Steel looks promising. I would suggest that till the stock doesn't break 390 on a closing basis in future levels, I think he should continue holding on to this long position.
So, but he's actually short on this one. So you advise him to exit?
So
this
yes,
position?
I would advise him to exit, because it's a strong trend. In fact, technically it has formed a pole and flag formation, and in terms of derivatives positioning, for last 4-5 trading sessions, we are continuously seeing a build-up of long position. And if he wants to follow certain stop loss, then I think 405, which is today's high, this level, if it gets crossed over, then he need to exit as short positions into call options.
Okay, and he also has a long on BPCL, and I believe these are futures, which he's bought around 356. Aditya, I'll take this one up with you. Let's have BPCL futures up. It's around 352. And there is an increase of 2% in open interest, though underlying, well, less than 0.5% gains are coming through on an intraday basis. Aditya, what would you advise him to do with his position in BPCL?
Well, we see BPSL also, this stock is in a range, is trading in a range of 345 and 360, 365 of the last couple of days. But yes, overall view is still negative. But we can see a small short covering pullback in this counter, and this pullback stock may come towards 364, 365 levels. So I would advise to hold with a strict stop loss of 348. If his stock breaks 348, then he should exit from his long position. But on higher side also, not much upside is expected. If his stock comes in the zone of 362, 364 levels, that is a good time to book profit in the long positions.
Okay, there's a viewer by the name Smart Value. He wants a view on Yes Bank. But Ashish, I want you to address Yes Bank, but I also want to pull up the chart of Shriram Transport. That's falling, and that's falling fast today. It's seen a big drop today. So I want your view on Shriram Transport and then and Yes Bank.
So Yes Bank, sorry, Shriram Transport, yes, today almost 6% addition in open interest, 3% drop in prices, breakdown of almost last 4 weeks low. Clearly signs of weakness are being seen, but I think 1200 is a level one can expect in Shriram Transport. Around those levels you might see some support coming into the stock, but I think one should avoid any long position even at lower levels. So it's a weak counter, and I think 1200 is something which we are expecting in a very short term in Shriram Transport. As far as Yes Bank is concerned, again hovering near its important support zone, which is around 335, 340 levels. So I think yes, some consolidation happening at these levels, but we expect stock to see some recovery towards 355, 360 zone. So I think any dip towards 340 would be an opportunity to initiate a long in Yes Bank.
All right, that's the view coming in Shriram Transport and Yes Bank. Moving on, we have Amol Vag on YouTube, and he has Tata Motors 280 call. His question is, what should be the target be when it comes to this specific series? He's bought it at 9. That's the premium that he's paid for. Ashish, can I come back to you on this one? Tata Motors 280 call. He's paid a premium of 9. He's making a little bit of a loss considering it's currently at around 4.45. It's underlying at 266.
See, technically, I think there's a good base being created in Tata Motors. In fact, yesterday's up move was with good amount of open interest addition. Today, some profit booking, but I believe 263, 264 stock is going to see a lot of strong support. In fact, I have a target which we have recommended is around 284, 285 in the stock. So keep that in mind. I think he should keep 263 as a stop loss. So if stock breaks 263, then he need to cut his long position. But otherwise, I think there's a fair, strong possibility stock might eventually cross the 280, 283 zone.
Okay. Okay, I think we have time for just to take one or two more queries. I'm just going to quickly hasten. We have on Facebook, we have, Bhavani Shankar Behera. He wants a view on Axis Bank 640 call. Can we take a look at the futures or perhaps that option as well and see where it's trading at? The 640 call currently at around 19.8, and Axis Bank well, it's showing some weakness in today's job trade, down by a little over 1%. Aditya, your view on Axis Bank and what would you recommend he should do with his call?
Well, I will continue with this call option. Means if we see whole banking space, then Axis Bank is one counter which is doing very good, and we are not seeing any kind of selling pressure in this counter. Today, yes, again stock is down by little, but overall structure is looking good. Till the time stock is trading above 624, he can continue with to hold his long position. On the higher side, I'm expecting this stock can test 660 to 665 levels. Around those levels, he can book profit in Axis Bank. But as of now, he can continue to hold with a stop till the time stock is trading above 624.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's the view on Axis Bank. And unfortunately, guys, we've run out of time. So I'm going to have to thank both our experts, Aditya as well as Ashish, I beg your pardon, for joining us and taking us through their queries as well as solving some of our doubts as there. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show. But for more news and updates, stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint Live.